Hi, I'm Daryl Sirota with the EstesGroup, Director of Technology Services, and I'd like to share with you today something near and dear to my heart. This is EstesCloud Managed Hosting for Epicor, mouthful there, ECHO for short. Let me show you some more details. So ECHO stands for EstesCloud Managed Hosting. As I mentioned before, the E for Epicor is silent. And so what we do is we take your Epicor app, we throw up in a proven host environment where you get all the benefits of Epicor and none of the overhead. With that, you get the benefit of EstesGroup expertise. Our team's been doing this for a long time. So lots of items that we can list off here. Data center with redundancy, managed services where we watch those servers and databases and make sure that they're performing optimally. They're also backed up and secured as well. Our professional services team is available to help you out with business requirements, functional experts in all arenas of Epicor to make sure that that application is doing what you need it to do. We do have proven hosting experience for over 15 years in a variety of different areas. In fact, we've been hosting Epicor for more than 4 years now, and we have lots of customers that will help you help. And we have lots of customers that will help. And we have lots of customers to reference that fact. So it basically takes your Epicor, that's going to be your application, your data, the modules, the third-party add-ins, all of those connections that you put into your Epicor environment. We're going to put them on a dedicated application servers. We have an Epicor app server and a remote desktop server, or servers if you need to scale up to that. You're going to get a dedicated SQL instance so that all of your data sits right there in one database server, and you'll be able to have full sysadmin access to that, well, at least your administrators will. And we pride ourselves on setting up a separate test server, so all your testing and piloting and those things are going to run on a separate box so that you can test the new deployments, upgrades, patches, and things like that before they impact your production environment. Our cloud is hosted in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we're going to give you 24/7 support, and there's 100% uptime on the SLA on the hardware and network access. Now, these are your servers, so you can absolutely reboot your servers in the middle of the day. I don't recommend you do that. However, that is one of the wonderful things about our hosting environment is that uptime SLA. Of course, it's all virtualized, so it's very scalable. If you need more servers, more RAM, more CPU, those things like that are trivial to add on, and they'll grow as your business grows. And of course, our cloud has a bunch of acronyms that we are all compliant under, so not to worry about the security of this thing. We're paranoid for your data. So as you come into the ECHO environment, we create what's called an Active Directory account. You might be familiar with Active Directory. And what we do is we've wrapped around a number of benefits, a number of add-ons on top of that to make sure that your users can set their own passwords, that if they forget their password, they can reset it, or if they lock their account, we're going to send them an email to make sure that they know their account was locked and a link to be able to unlock it. We'll use Q&A to be able to do that. We do allow your managers to do self-service provisioning. So if you want to create new users, edit users, reset passwords, delete users, things like that, that's all within a single pane of glass. We also have single sign-on available. What this means is that from the user's desktop all the way to the Epicor application, it can be a single click. And if you need multi-factor authentication for more secure environments, absolutely, we got that covered too. So when we look at this environment, it's important to realize that this is your business, and we understand that, and we're going to make sure that first off, we're going to give you the support. Okay, infrastructure and access support. That is, I need to get in, I forgot my password, something's not right, 24/7, any time of the day or night, give us a call, and we'll be able to help you with that infrastructure stuff. If you need help with the business function, functional support, right? I need a new dashboard or a new report written. Those guys don't stay up all night, but those professional services are available during business hours. Although a lot of times during go live on the weekends, we will dedicate both professional services and the infrastructure guys to make sure that your deployment goes smoothly. One of the key challenges here is making sure that your system stays up and running, and so we're going to provide disaster recovery services. Recovery time objective, that is, how much data can you possibly, not how much data, we're going to make sure that your system is redundant. So our recovery time objective is less than 1 minute. So if your system blue screens or goes down or there's a bad patch, we'll get that server back up and running in less than a minute using real-time replication technology. The recovery points objective is where you can go back to any point in time within about 5 days. What this means is that if one of your users was absolutely determined to click that link, open that attachment, and they got themselves ransomed, that's okay. We can snap that server back in time right before the ransom attack hit. And so that way we can eliminate a number of the security concerns that a number of our small clients are saying. Of course, systems are backed up. Now, backup is not disaster recovery, but our systems are all backed up nightly. You can do the restore, you can open a ticket and we'll do the restore for you. And all those databases, of course, are backed up and logged every 3 hours to provide for a point-in-time recovery. So if somebody posts all of your accounting batch to the wrong day, we can roll that back if necessary. So lots of options here to make sure that your business continues running smoothly. Now, of course, we bring along to the picture this thing called the EstesGroup Managed Services. And what that is a tool that we've designed, kind of proud of it. It's called Server Care for Epicor, included with your Echo subscription. What this is going to do is provide monitoring for your servers, making sure that those boxes are not high on CPU or low on disk. And not only can we do those, of course, traditional Windows management tools, but we're also going to make sure that Epicor is running smoothly as possible. So we monitor things like Epicor application response time, task agent queues, MRP runtimes, things that matter to your business. We're going to have a little bouncing ball that we follow. And if they exceed the threshold, we're going to get an alert. If you want to get that alert, you can too. But that's an important part of making sure that Epicor runs smoothly and not just the Windows server itself. So we're going to respond with, of course, we're going to deploy Windows updates. At least monthly. I prefer to have a maintenance window so that I can come along and reboot servers as needed without interrupting your business. But we're going to make sure that those servers are patched and up and running smoothly. Now, of course, we do offer traditional MSP services, so I would be remiss to say that we can also do this on your on-premises deployment. So if you choose not to go with hosting, it might be a valid move. However, those on-premise servers, desktops, things like that are available through the EstesGroup Managed Services division. We also have Office 365 ad hoc support. And if you need that virtual CIO to help you decide whether Office 365 is or isn't a good move for you guys, then we can help you out there as well. And professional services, we have a team of many folks who've been in the Epicor space for 15 plus years. We've been doing Epicor work with the project manager consultants. One of the benefits of hosting an Echo is that our consultants already have access to Echo. You just need to give your authorization, and we'd be able to let those consultants in to help you write dashboards and BAQs and reports and things like that. The benefit there is that we don't need access to your internal network like you would if you were traditionally on-premise. So you might be asking, well, that sounds great, but why would I choose this EstesGroup rather than one of our competitors? Great question. Well, we built our offering around this product. We built our offering around a company called US Signal, who has a data centers in the Michigan area. Basically what this means is that power is less expensive, cooling is easier, and they're less likely to get hit with all sorts of potential issues. Tornadoes, earthquakes, So why would you choose EstesGroup? Well, we built our offering around the US Signal platform. US Signal is a partner of ours, and they are based out of Michigan. And what they give us is the ability to have 2 data centers at our disposal, and given 100% SLA, as I mentioned before. So they have redundant network, redundant hardware, and all of those things. And those hosting services are audited by third-party auditors multiple times. One of the great benefits of using US Signal, besides the partnership that we have with them, is that they don't charge for ingress or egress data. So you're not going to get a surprise when you download your Epicor database to send it off to support, or you're not going to be worried about the charges for moving data between center A and data center B. Lots of benefits there. We also will see that the EstesGroup then provides a front-end support line where you can call us, as I mentioned, 24/7 for access and infrastructure work. And if needed, we'll go ahead and initiate that call over to US Signal to make sure that the guys that can hug the servers are there when we need it. One of the key benefits here of EstesGroup is that you are in control of your application. One of the challenges I found is that other providers will say, we're going to push this update on you at this time. Well, rather than the technology drive the business, we're going to let the business drive the technology. That means that you decide when you want the latest patches, the latest updates, the latest bells and whistles. We're going to put them on a test server first, vet them all out, and make sure that they do what you need them to do, and then we'll push it to production, again, on your schedule, not ours. So another question we get frequently asked is, why private or public cloud? Why should you use Estes and US Signal over the big name providers? So those big name providers, first off, I challenge you to find a phone number for Microsoft if you were to have a problem in Azure. Likewise, if you had your servers hosted in AWS, try and find a phone number for Google so that you can call them and say, hey, I'm having a performance problem. Can you help me out here? Our phone number is right here on our website. You can get in touch with us anytime. One of the benefits there is that by being less public also, our solution is less targeted by the bad guys, although we do have that redundancy in place to make sure that the bad guys do not get in. Now, this is a great slide that shows us some of the EstesCloud architecture. Our primary data center sits in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it's fully redundant network access. So you visit a browser or a remote app tool, and you get in with your Epicor, and whether you're running in Grand Rapids or you're running over in our alternate data center, Detroit, you don't care. You really don't care. You don't know, you don't care, but it gives you that warm fuzzy that your data is sitting in two locations to avoid things like, oh, I don't know, meltdown, power outages, anthrax. So this EstesCloud architecture is built right squarely on top of the US Signal framework. Now we have customized that. We've done a lot of, we've customized this architecture and laid the groundwork for a number of different pieces that are going to bring the Epicor environment to you. So one of the key benefits here is that we've built the pink box around here with a number of different shared infrastructure pieces that give you lots of benefits without all the work. So on the left hand of the slide, we see things where your remote clients sit. That could be your users in your corporate office. These could be folks working at home. They can even be users sitting on a cell phone. Although Epicor is a little small, you have to pinch and pull a little bit, but I've seen people use a cell phone hotspot in conjunction with Wi-Fi to be able to get users into Epicor in the case of an internet outage. Although when you move to cloud services, redundant internet or reliable internet should absolutely be part of your solution. So we're going to make sure that as your users come out of their firewall, we're going to route them into our DMZ area. In our DMZ, we host a number of services as it relates to Epicor and SMTP, or mail relay, is one of the services that we provide for you. All the mail coming out of your environment is going to be antivirused and protected and SPF'd and all that good stuff to make sure that the mail flows properly. Then we put all of your inbound Epicor data through a layer 7 firewall. That's a complicated term that basically means that we're going to look at the packets as they come in and make sure that they are appropriately destined, that that's not malware, it's not the bad guys from China trying to get in, and make sure that it's only the valid authenticated data. That incoming request then comes into our shared architecture. I talked about domain controllers and remote desktop gateways and redundant SQL servers and all that stuff, but all you need to know about is as your user authenticates, there's no single point of failure there. That we can reboot any of these servers and you guys won't know. And that allows us to keep our infrastructure up to date as a cloud service ought to be. Now in the green box down at the bottom, we have your specific tenant. Now your tenant is firewalled away from our other tenants. So while this is a shared architecture, we're going to make sure that your machines aren't accessible to other users, other tenants. So your remote desktop servers, your application servers, and even test application servers are all squirreled away, and we monitor those as well to make sure that they're performing acceptably. But those are primarily where you're going to get your work done. Now, we use remote desktop as our primary tool, but there are other methods. We have folks that are accessing Epicor over mobile CRM, from home over an SSL connection. There's a lot of different ways to get into and out of the Epicor environment, but this is remote desktop is our preferred methodology at this time. So what are your benefits? Well, lots of benefits here. I could go down the list, but you can read as well as I. One of the big challenges here is, or big benefits that we see here is that when you go to the hosting environment, you're not buying hardware. So you're not going to be faced with a big capital expense that's going to depreciate over the years, and you get to throw it away at the end of 5 years. Okay, our hardware is continually going through maintenance cycles, and as the VMs move to new hardware, you don't know. Your Windows stays up and running, your Epicor application stays running, but we'll just continually see the benefit of that. And over the years at the US Signal, we've seen just gradual improvements in the architecture without any additional costs. It does give you one vendor for all your needs, right? EstesGroup, not only do we do the hosting, but we do the functional support of that Epicor solution. So it's one phone call to make, and we're going to be able to solve your problems. It does give you a secure and reliable infrastructure. Okay, we're paranoid about your data, whether it's making sure that it's antivirused and backed up, or disaster recovery with real-time failover. These are things that are going to allow the technology to respond to your business needs, rather than letting your business follow along with what the technology can provide. Key benefit is no internal IT support. Right now, you might still have Epicor functional folks inside that know how to write a dashboard, that know how to run Epicor, obviously. But you don't need to have a SQL DBA on hand. You don't have to have an IIS administrator to watch the boxes. So those benefits mean that you can take your IT staff that might be focused on Epicor now and try redirect them to other areas that need more attention. Fixed monthly cost. Now, this is a scalable solution, so as you grow, your fixed monthly cost will grow with you, but it's a very linear approach. It's no big surprises here. So it gives you scalable resources that grow. We're going to give you all the monitoring and the management behind that, so you really don't care how much disk space is left on the Epicor server. We're watching that for you, and we'll take care of it. We do give you guaranteed uptime. 99.7 is our published SLA. That means that if we're down for more than 30 minutes in a week, we're going to refund part of your hosting fees. And part of that then coming back to your on-premise solution is we do offer business continuity planning. So what happens if your power goes out? I'm sure Echo is going to stay running, but if you can't get to Echo, what are some of the different tools and processes that we can use to make sure that your business stays running? So when we look at that from a different perspective, we give you a fixed monthly cost. We're going to take care of your internal support needs. We're going to manage the Epicor environment for you. And we get that ongoing life cycle. So we make sure that the hardware is always up to date, that the technology is responding quickly, and that we've got the security behind it so that you don't have to worry and that you can get some rest. So with that, I would encourage you to reach out to us if you have more questions. You can visit us at EstesGRP.com. And thanks for listening.